paragraph together using reactions. What kind of paragraph is this? Is this an expository paragraph with only facts? Is this an opinion paragraph, or is this a narrative paragraph? If you think it's expository, show me a 1. If you think it's opinion, show me a 2. If you think it's narrative, show me a 3, please. Wonderful. Yes, you're all showing me 3. Excellent. It's a narrative paragraph. Everybody say that. This is a narrative paragraph. Good. Whisper to your neighbor, what types of things do we look for in narratives? I'm hearing you say that good narratives have actions, reactions, and dialogue. Who is doing all those things? Who's doing the action, the reaction, the dialogue? Courtney? I heard you say a girl. I heard you say a person. What do we call people in narratives?
The main person.
Marissa? The character. Good job. Let's say that together. The character does the actions. The character has the reactions. The character says the dialogue. Good job. So, here we have a paragraph. As I said, I wrote some sentences in black, and they were all actions. They were all events. And I told you that good narratives don't just have actions and events. They also have reactions, or dialogue, or both. So, I challenged you to go to your tables and to write together in your tables one sentence in your team to provide more reactions or dialogue for the actions. Let's read our result. Everybody ready? Remember that the color black, the black ink is the teacher's sentences, and your sentences are in colors. So let's go ahead and read this together. Everybody ready? I'm going to go on this side so that I can, so I won't be blocking anyone. Okay, let's go ahead and read together. Ready? On the television, the weatherman said a tornado was headed toward my neighborhood. I heard wind. Brian? Toward me. Okay, why do you like that one? Okay, so you feel like the word toward is a good word. It helps you imagine what the tornado is doing. Okay? Everybody say toward.
Toward.
That means going closer to something. Toward it. One more time. Toward.
Toward.
Does anybody else have one you want me to highlight? Matthew?
No, I have something that I know that we can add to the very end of the story. We could add some more that I'm looking at. I was reading the whole thing and I was like, maybe we could add like something in the end because they're in the bathtub and they're in the air. So I figured maybe you could have like and then something hit me in the head and then I wake up out on the ground.
Oh, okay. So
like,
I see. So what I hear you saying is that the character's in the air, and the next thing we know, they look to the right and they see their car.
And then something hit them.
Okay, so you're saying that you would rather put a transition in here, knowing what happened between flying up in the air and then looking to the right and seeing being next to the car. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah. Raise your hand if you're okay with that. If you're okay with adding in a transition here to show how they got from the air, going up into the air, to being next to the car. Okay, so that's a revising change where we're going to add another sentence there about being next to the car. Go ahead and read the paragraphs that we've put together as we've added some things at the end. Let's see how we like the new paragraph. Read with me, please. On the television, the weatherman said a tornado was headed toward my neighborhood. I heard wind howling loudly outside. I was shivering when I heard the motor of a tornado spinning toward me. I was so scared I was screaming, "Tornadoes!" I ran to my bathtub and climbed in. Shivering, I crouched down and covered because my heart was pounding. I felt wetness because of the sweat that I felt. I was so scared I wet myself. I felt the house shaking around me. I peeked to see what was happening, and I was in the air. I saw a mailbox flying toward my head. I tried to dodge, but I felt a clunk on the side of my head. Everything went dark. I looked to my right, and I was next to my car. And then Salvador suggested we could even say, after that, we could even put another sentence and say, I said to myself, what happened? How did I get here? So boys and girls, I really like the way you're thinking about adding all these reactions in, these thoughts and these feelings of the character about what is happening as it's happening. Something occurred to me. When the character wet themselves, do you think that they could have any reaction to that?
No.
Raise your hand if you could think of a reaction that a character might have when they wet themselves. Nalia?
Oh God, I'm gonna need diapers now.
Oh no, do I need a diaper now? Okay, what else could
Again.
they say to themselves or think to themselves? Jacob?
You could also take that out. You can also take it out to...
I'll just fix that.
You know what? A lot of people think it's a good sentence, and I think
Like,
it's
I hate
okay.
that
I think it's fine. Joshua?
Oh man, these are my new pants.
Oh man, these are my new pants. I love it.
Why
I
would
love
you
it.
be worrying about
That
your new
that
pants?
would be what, boys and girls? What would that be? If the character said it would be a reaction, it would also be dialogue. The character would say that to themselves. Good. Alex.
You can say like...
Cry. All right, let's
Why
move on.
would you be worrying about your pants when you've been worrying about your life?
Right, so that is a good question. If a reaction, that's a question that authors always have to ask themselves, whether it's realistic for the character to think that at the time. Because like Jacob said, the character may not even notice that they wet themselves till later, because maybe they're so afraid that they're going to die that they don't even
It
notice.
says right here, I thought I was going to die. Why would you be worrying about your pants when you're thinking you're going to die?
That's a good question. So that's
nothing to do with that.
I know, it's like, I hate this sentence.
Yeah, so that's just a decision that authors have to make.
I know.
Thank you. Okay, so our next step, boys and girls, now that we've revised our paragraph and we've made it better, we've added more reactions, we made our ending stronger on our paragraph, now the next step is the fun part. This is where we get a chance to check for the editing errors. This is where we check for spelling, capital, punctuation errors, grammar errors. So look up here and raise your hand if you see something spelled wrong, if you see a capital letter missing, if you see something that we need to fix and edit. Everybody say edit.
Edit.
Okay, Matthew.
Roof.
Okay, so where it looks like roof,
No one likes roof.
where it looks like roof, we said we wanted to put, or roof, we said we wanted to put in roof. Okay, so I changed it. I clearly changed the F and made it look like an F. Okay, any other issues that you see that we need to change? Selena.
You see it said I heard and the word spinning.
So you're saying that right here where it says heard, you want it to look nicer? Is that what you're saying? Easier to read?
And the word spinning.
Okay. Okay, what's wrong with spinning? Actually, spinning's not spelled correctly. So, does anybody know what we need to do to fix the word spinning?
After the I have to do another N.
Yes. It should be double N because it's a one syllable word, spin. So because of that reason, when we put ing on the end, we need to put another N in there. Spinning. Good. Okay, I want to make sure that we know that this is nothing. Any other editing issues that you see that need to be fixed? Alex? I like the way many people are aiming high and making good decisions by reading silently and checking for editing errors. That's aiming high. Jacob?
Scared.
What's wrong with scared?
It's spelled wrong.
Nope, it's not. Juan?
It's just screaming and you can't actually like always scream, like you can't talk screaming while you're about to type.
That's right. So what he's saying, boys and girls, is that the dialogue, the quotation marks don't need to be around screaming. Okay? Because you actually only put those marks around the thing that you say. So the character didn't say, screaming tornadoes. That's not what the character said. The character just said what? Tornadoes.
Wait.
So we're going to take off the dialogue here, these quotation marks, and we're going to wait. We're not going to put them there. We're going to put them here right before tornadoes, and we need to put a comma right after screaming before the person started talking. Okay, any other errors that you see here in the paragraph? Matthew.
I just have a question. Do screaming tornadoes look like this?
They
Ah!
probably do. Okay, any other editing errors that we see here we need to fix? Salvador.
No, I wanted to add something. I heard wind howling loudly outside as I was breathing hard. And
So you're putting in more reactions. You still want to revise it some more. Good ideas, but we're just going to continue with editing for now. But I like your idea. Kylie? Tornadoes is spelled wrong. Okay. Do you know what I need to do to fix it?
I told you.
Take the O.
Tornadoes. I think it's O-E-S, but we'll have to check that later.
Yeah, there's an E in it.
I know it was spelled wrong, but I think it's O-E-S, but we'll have to check it. Okay, any other errors that you see of editing here? Nalia.
shivering, it doesn't have a capital.
That's right. This word shivering starts the sentence, but it needs a capital. Good job. And it needs a comma right after it because there's a pause. Shivering, I crouched down. Okay, do you hear that pause? There's a comma that needs to happen right there.